Hello, and welcome to another episode of Sustainable Solutions with Planet Aid, the podcast that delves deep into the most pressing issues facing our planet and communities today. I'm Planet Aid's Communications Manager, Haley Chitty, and I'm going to turn it over to our host, Planet Aid's Communication and Content Specialist, Monica Johnson.
Welcome to Sustainable Solutions with Planet 8. I'm Monica Johnson, and I'm going to be your guide today for this journey as we take challenging solutions and try to simplify them. And it's also an opportunity for us to learn from incredible individuals and organizations at the forefront of developing and implementing sustainable solutions. Change is not only possible, but essential, and it begins with understanding. And today, we're going to be talking to Simon Glimtoft. And Simon is the mall manager for ReTuna, which is the world's first recycling mall, and that's located in Sweden. So tell us a little bit about ReTuna. Give us a little bit of history about ReTuna. And thank you again. Welcome for coming.
Thank you, Monica. Well, as you said, my name is Simon Glimtoft, and I am the mall manager of ReTuna Recycling Mall. It's located in a municipality called Eskilstuna Municipality. In Sweden, we say kommun instead. And it's a very nice neighborhood to live in. Looking back, further back, Eskilstuna is a bit of an industrial town with manufacturing and all that. And moving forward, it had a high crime rate and it was not as green as it is today. So the whole municipality had to switch shirts basically. And part of that was implementing a new recycling center called ReTuna Recycling Center. And this was already being spoken about during 2007. But then moving on towards 2012, a decision had to be made. We needed to have the recycling center, but we also wanted to open a recycling or actually reuse mall. So 2014, the decision was made by local politicians to start building the recycling center as well as the mall. And the mall at the moment was actually owned by DHL logistics company. So when moving into the whole mall, it didn't have a second floor. It was just storage space. So that was all invested together with the municipality and our utility company within Eskilstuna called Energy and Environment.
Okay, so you said a lot about the area that was surrounding the recycling center, I believe, and you said that it was a high crime area. How has this changed with the coming of this shopping experience that you provide?
Well, it's been a work in progress for the whole municipality, as it was high crime rates, but it was also a low employment rate as well within the municipality. So that was part of like the change that needed to happen. So we had to have that green transition, and ReTuna was part of this transition. We needed to reduce waste and optimize the reuse of all this that people would look at as waste to be reused and resold, repurposed.
So you have a partnership with the city. Um, how does that work exactly? I know that you're very close to the recycling center, so
Yeah.
you work hand in hand, I'm imagining. Tell us a little bit about that relationship.
Yeah, it's completely hand in hand. It's actually kind of interesting because our utility company where I work, under the division of recycling and waste, we're owned by the municipality, by the city. So it's a city-run shopping center. It's a city-run waste company. It's a city-run electric utility company. So it gives us a lot of comfort knowing that the city has got everybody's back.
That's awesome, and that's something you probably don't find much of that here, because there are lots of big companies that own shopping malls here, obviously. But
Yeah.
this is a very unique experience. Tell us a little bit about what people can expect when they come into this secondhand mall. Because I was looking at it on there's a clip from BBC that I saw, and it's completely merchandised. It's very upscale. Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about that experience.
I mean, being a customer, walking in through the entrance, the first thing you'll probably see is an IKEA. We actually have IKEA in the building as well, but we have a commercial feel. It needs to feel comfortable being a customer and buying products secondhand. But you can find anything and always a unique assortment of products. We have furniture stores, we have sports and recreation store, we have clothing store, we have a restaurant, we have actually even a school with a 1 year education and recycled design. We have a project that works towards bringing reusable material to preschools. Today, we supply 73 preschools and approximately 10,000 children with reusable, safe items to use and be creative with. Um, we have a food waste store. We have it all, but it needs to have that commercial feel. It doesn't. Something I really want to minimize is the thought process of people thinking, oh well, this is like a yard sale. No, no. Every single store is owned privately. They have their employers, so they have to pay salaries. They have to pay their rent. They have costs, and according to these costs, they need to make a profit as well. So it's cheap, and everybody can access ReTuna, but it's also super convenient.
So, as you were saying, your staff includes a lot of, well, vendors who are artisans, doing a lot of upcycling, repurposing. Tell us a little bit about how they get into this. How can they be a part of it? How do they come to you and maybe even say, "This is what I'm thinking about as a shop," and would you entertain that?
Yeah, great question. We we have different policies, but to start off, we need these interested parts to send me their business plan. I invite them in if we have a vacant lot, a vacant store, and I'll show them around. We'll talk about our different policies and routines within ReTuna because it really does need routines, like all other places. But we put some how to say some things that they need to uphold is you can't open a store alone. You're not allowed to be a single person opening a store because it has to be socially sustainable as well. It's a mall. We're working mall hours. You need to have a life outside of work as well. So at least two people. You have to have that business plan. And according to this business plan, you tell me what sort of items you're using that we are giving you basically, or our citizens are giving you. And also you have to have a solid approach to why you want to open a store. I mean, if you want to save the world, that's one part, right? But if you're in it to save the world, you're probably going to stand looking at this one item, you're working a lot on it, and you're not making a profit in the long run. And you can't just be in it for the money also because you're probably gonna not going to be a good neighbor. So you have to have that balance between I want to save the world, I want to save the climate, and I want to make a profit too and be financially sustainable.
So the vendors, you mentioned that they get all of their material from you, or do they come in with anything of their own?
They get, let's say, they get 90% from us. Um, then we have some vendors who have purchasing. They purchase like through distributors of food waste, like food with a short date, um, or the date has gone out, you know. But take salt, for example. It says on the label, it says Himalayan salt, been around for millions of years, and the end date is like 2021. It doesn't make sense at all. So that's something that they sell actually as well.
That's very interesting. Um, and so, also, one of the things that you also mentioned is that internship program. So, and would I be correct in calling it an internship program since it's a 1 year program?
Yeah, it's a 1 year program. It's run by a public school for adults or all ages. So there could be a person in this class who's up around their 70s, but there can also be someone around like 18, 19 years old. So it's very diverse, and they talk a lot about the climate, but they also talk about how can you repurpose items. So during their first term, the first half year, they're working with soft material like textiles, fabrics. And during the second term, they're working with hard items like furniture and repurposing those. And it's quite incredible. The people who have been studying there, they move on to become almost artists within the industry.
How has this helped the landfill situation in Sweden as far as you bringing all these things in from the obviously from the recycling center where it was going to be used anyway, or
Yeah,
recycled, but there's a lot of things that go to recycling that doesn't actually get used. So
yeah.
how has this helped the landfill situation there?
Yeah, in Eskilstuna, we have a very, very, very minimal landfill. It's extremely small, but that's also thanks to ReTuna. Um, we want to reduce this these sorts of materials that are hard to recycle. I mean, just look at a couch. It's got metal, it's got wood, it's got fabric, it's got plastic, it's got it all. And we're saving those things and reducing landfill that way. Across Sweden, it looks different, right? Every municipality is different, working in different ways. But in Eskilstuna, we're kind of unique having this opportunity to reduce waste. But we also have a lot of work put into the different fractions of recycling within our utility company, waste company. So you can divide it up into wood. We got plastic, but we got plastic containers. Very important to know the difference because you can reuse these plastic food containers, for example, but other plastics usually cannot reuse. We have everything in different fractions, but our public or our citizens, they sort this themselves at our centers. And at the moment, we only have two, but it works out.
How would you encourage other cities to go ahead and do something like this? And what would be the reason that you would, what would be like the three reasons why you would say this is worth doing in every
Hmm.
city?
I promote other municipalities, other cities, other countries, other companies to actually come to ReTuna and visit us. I will give guided tours with the details in how everything runs, how everything works, and it's filter free. So I make sure to inform as much as possible. And we also work with different platforms like social media and just spreading our word and making sure we support others in their processes. But some things to take with is the reduction of landfill, right? That's one. It's contributing to saving the CO2 emissions, and that's drastically. Also, we're creating a spot where companies can thrive. You can start a small business and you can grow that. And in the long run, it's creating job opportunities that weren't there before, and it's within an industry that's sustainable.
And this is just such a helpful resource for your community, period. So what do you want when people come to ReTuna? What do you want them to leave with? What do you want them to say, hey, this experience was great because
Well, I want them to feel inspired. I want them to feel like they've had a unique experience, that what they have seen today will be different tomorrow because it is such a lively and changeable assortment of products. So I think that many people are very compelled to come back just to just to realize like, wow, I didn't see that last time, um, and also take steps towards asking themselves, is this, when they're buying something new, is this something that I want? Is it something I need? Or is this something that I can find in a secondhand store?
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and please share it with your friends, family, and colleagues. Together we can make a difference. And remember, change starts with awareness and action. So let's keep the conversation going. Feel free to reach out to us on social media, through our website. Share your thoughts, ideas, and stories with us. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, remember, it's a big world out there, but every small change counts. Together we can build a better, more sustainable future. Thank you all so much.